Hey everybody, it is Prince's friend. I am back with part 2 of the Purple Rain Deluxe Remaster review. I just wanted to go ahead and share that I did get an amazing mug from the PRN Alumni Foundation. It says, Paisley Park is in our heart, and it's a really good quality cup, so it's really nice. I'm drinking my coffee out of it. So today we're reviewing the disc of previously unreleased tracks that have been included from Prince's vault on the Purple Rain Deluxe Remaster Expanded Edition. It includes alternate versions, early versions, demos, and tracks that really just never found the right home on an album. Now I have a certain idea about things like this personally. Like, you can't just pull tracks from Prince's vault and just throw them on a disc. Some of them weren't there because they didn't find the right home. Others were incomplete or just weren't ready. Like Prince had part of an idea, but he never really finished it. And, you know, a lot of us Prince friends have tons of bootleg and vault tracks, and not all of them are great quality. Some of them are half-baked ideas that you can just tell they just need a little bit more love before they'll be something really great. Now, it's weird because it's not like I'm advocating for someone else to jump in and edit or produce them to completion, because then you're not really getting the authentic Prince experience that he would have eventually given us. But I'm also not interested in getting a bunch of okay tracks either. I'm on the fence. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on this topic. That said, this collection of tracks is pretty interesting. It's obvious just by listening to them that they are definitely from the Purple Rain era or somewhere slightly before that. They use similar instruments, similar sounds. So that means that for those of you who love Purple Rain and that era and everything about that time period, then you're gonna really like these songs. For me though, it kind of pales in comparison to, say, the Deliverance EP, which none of us have because it was not officially released. I'm more of a fan of the 2005 Prince than the 1984 Prince, so that really just kind of becomes a personal preference type thing. But these are good songs, let's go ahead and get into them.
We got to dance, dance and watch it. Listen to the rhythm in your soul. Dance, dance and watch it. Better love each other.
So Prince had a thing he used to do. Whenever he would write a song for another performer, he always recorded it himself to make sure that he was happy with it and to kind of save it for posterity. So this song was actually written for Simone and ended up getting him a top 10 hit, so that's cool. But honestly, just listening to Andre's version, you can tell that it was ultimately meant to be done by Prince. So here we have Prince's version, and it's good. I wouldn't say great, personally, but I think that's mostly just because the song goes on, I think, longer than it needs to. It kind of gets the same beat, and it just kind of goes with that beat, and it doesn't really change at all, it just kind of does that beat over and over again. I do like the cross-referencing with the song God, where he says, "Dance the Dance Electric," in that song. I think it's pretty revealing about how Dance Electric is praising God and how that's a good thing to do. So Love and Sex starts off with a great scream and a "come on baby hurt me" before it kind of goes into a really cool beat, some further crooning, because he likes to do that on this track. I have to admit, I had never heard this one before, but the sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la boom definitely drew me in. I was digging this song by that point. The fact that this song is screamtastic from beginning to end, I think it really makes it a good addition to this CD. So this is the extended version of Computer Blue. Now, I have this version, but it's great to have it officially released finally. Not only does it have another verse of the core song that was cut out of the album version, but the guitar and keyboard solos are very much extended. There's also a lot of jamming out and a slightly longer version of the Father song there in the middle. It also has my favorite groove from Prince near the end. Well, you might remember it from the Purple Rain movie where the guys of the band are actually practicing and they're going I fell in love with that beat in the movie, and I sought it out for years and I just could not find where it was from. I was like, there has to be a song that this is from. It can't just be something that was written for 10 seconds of a scene, and I was really, really mad that I couldn't find it for years. So I'm glad that I eventually did find it and my dreams were fulfilled. Now we have it here, it's remastered, it sounds great. It extends the original 4 minutes to over 12 minutes. So I've been listening to this one over and over since I got my copy. It is so good.
Gonna take advantage of just me. I don't need to know you. I don't even care. 'Cause I feel some kind of sexual current. Tell me, do you feel it too?
So I dig Electric Intercourse quite a bit, actually. Taking just the name, and remember that the dance electric means praising God, so that would mean Electric Intercourse would be like divine sex. The beat to this song is just kind of okay, but it's laid back, so I don't think it needed to be super dynamic anyway. But I do love the as it kind of strikes a really good chord throughout the song. I feel like this one might have just needed a little bit more tweaking to be absolutely amazing, but it's pretty darn good either way.
The moment you came to town, my life seemed all around. 20 corners to your name, doors rushing down, there's no one to blame.
House, garden.
And then that brings us to Our Destiny Roadhouse Garden. I love the way that it begins with what we've all come to know as the beginning of the ladder from Around the World in a Day. I always felt that there was more to that intro, and I was right, so go me. The first half of this is Our Destiny. It's sung by Lisa Coleman, who I always thought had a pretty darn good voice. It's cool because it kind of crescendos in weird spots that kind of take you off guard the first time you're listening to it. It just had me like, what are you doing? This is so awesome and weird. The chorus is Our Destiny is to Fall in Love, and the song really delivers that in the first half. Now the second half is Roadhouse Garden, and that launches into a classic Prince dance beat, and you can tell why these two were then coupled together. The first half is about two people destined to fall in love, and Roadhouse Garden is a song about being absolutely happy in the place that you're at, presumably because you have your love with you. So I think this is an interesting compound song. I think it's the perfect length, seeing that it's kind of two songs put together. It's still a really good length. It was an interesting choice. I think it really works.
And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm possessed. And I'm still crazy in love with you, baby.
So for those who know Purple Rain in and out, like me, and I'm sure many of you, we know this song as the one playing while Morris and Apollonia are having dinner. And he's rapping to her about his Italian cook and his brass waterbed, and it's right before Prince sings Beautiful Ones. So I love this groove personally. The lyrics are about him being obsessed with a woman to the point that it's driving him crazy, which really makes it sound like this is a holdover from 1999. If you listen to my review of that album, these themes of being completely obsessed and taken over with a woman are explored heavily on that album. I think this one kind of suffers from the same thing that I harp on about a lot of different songs. It's 8 minutes long. If it had been cut to maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I think it would have been way more enjoyable. At this point, it kind of drags on, and it lost me at about the 5.5 minute mark, to the point where I was like, alright, cool, is it gonna do anything else? But, still a good track.
You think my neurosis is just a phase? You got a wonderful eyes. So wonderful.
So most of us have heard this treasure. Even on just YouTube, there's a couple of places where you can go listen to it. But if you haven't heard it, it's a great funky track. I kind of already knew the words to the song, so while me and my wife were riding to the beach this past weekend, I was singing the chorus to her. You've got a wonderful ass. She's like, wait a minute, is that really what he's saying? And I'm like, yeah, it is. So if you listen to the lyrics closer though, the song is actually about being with somebody who aggravates you so much and is kind of your complete opposite. But she's got a wonderful ass, so you stay with her. I think it's a great track.
Take a swing, you're up to bat, velvet kitty cat. And every day and all night, my velvet kitty cat. Wish she had a boyfriend, but they were all rats.
So Velvet Kitty Cat is kind of the example of what I was talking about at the top of the video. It just feels incomplete. The voice and the music never seem to line up or feel cohesive. I think it's a cute song, but I don't know if it ever really comes together. To me, it actually feels like an earlier song from maybe before Purple Rain, maybe Controversy era. I don't know, but it's really not for me. Not in this form.
There's no way to tell who's real and who's not. Baby, it's so much harder when your body's hot. She says that love is just a game, but so it seems that men is so go.
So now we go back to the Purple Rain era sounding songs. It's a weird, almost gothic sounding song, and I love Katrina's Paper Dolls. It's about a woman whose lover is gone, so she makes paper dolls to keep her company, to the point where she starts to think that they're real. It doesn't say whether her man left or whether he's dead, but it feels like from the tone of the song that it's the latter. Again, bringing up some of the weird gothic overtones from it. Like, I would love to hear The Cure sing this song, and that'll never happen, but I think this one is one of those, like, kind of creepy songs, and I love it.
Let's just go somewhere we can fuck. I could say I'm sorry all my life. That wouldn't be true. I only say to do the things that I do.
So as we all know here, if you've listened to my Graffiti Bridge review, I'm a huge fan of Weekend Funk, and I actually was kind of surprised when I saw the track listing and there was going to be an early demo version of it. It's a classic track to me, so I was super hyped to listen to this version. Sadly though, this is one of those that Prince obviously realized needed a lot more work before it was really ready. Collaborating with George Clinton in the final version too, it gave us the actual chorus, as this song lacks one, and a lot more funk to something that is already pretty funky. This version does have another verse and extends to over 10 minutes with lots of extra talking on the track. Prince cries and then explains why he's crying because the woman he's with is so perfect, and then he launches into a bunch of sex sounds, which was very back then. It's really hard not to compare it to the Graffiti Bridge version, but if you take it as its own individual song, completely separate, it's not bad, but again, you can tell that it needed a little bit more love before it was really ready. It's nice to have an official version of Father Song. It's a really beautiful piano track. I love that as you get into the track, it starts mixing piano and weird trippy keyboards together to really bring it up a notch. I think that it's a great track to end this excursion into the vault as well, because it's just so beautiful and hopeful sounding, like, don't worry, this isn't the end, just wait and there'll be more to come. And that's what I get from the song. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la, in conclusion. So I think that Disc 2 of the Purple Rain Deluxe Remaster Expanded Edition, like we could get a bigger name for the album. I think it's a great mix of previously unreleased tracks for us Prince friends to kind of munch on until they come out with the next batch. A couple of them felt incomplete, but I think that still gives us like a solid 8 or 9 worthy and amazing tracks for us to put on our speakers and just kind of listen to it and float away. This disc alone would be worth it for me to buy, but getting it along with the remastered Purple Rain, the other extended tracks on disc 3, I reviewed those other 2 discs yesterday, but I think the whole package together, not to mention the DVD of the concert, I think it really makes it worth it. And we have links in the description if you want to go check out how to get it yourself. So what did you think of disc 2 of Purple Rain Deluxe? Tell me down in the comments, and I would love to continue this discussion. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and may you live to see the dawn.